Good evening, everyone. I'm Jagrat from Mygate. Thanks for joining us today. If you are part of a managing committee, you probably know how quickly Clubhouse bookings can spiral out of control. Booked slots that never get used, double bookings, last minute cancellations, and then, of course, the arguments about who gets priority. That's exactly what this session is about: how to bring order, how to bring transparency, how to bring fairness to Clubhouse management, amenities management using Mygate's latest customizations. We have seen societies where members have fought over peak hour bookings. We have also seen communities that solved it with a very few simple rule based automations which are built inside Mygate ERP. And once those controls kicked in, the complaints disappeared. To walk us through this, we have two people who work closely with RWAs across India: Nitesh Tripathi, our senior product manager, and Rushika, product analyst from the Mygate ERP team. They have spent the last few months working on new rules, new customizations that address exactly these problems. Here are a few of the things we'll cover today: how to stop speculative or bulk bookings with advanced booking rules, how to automatically handle last minute cancellations and no shows, how to make bookings more transparent so everyone can see who's booked with slot and when, and finally, how these new controls make Clubhouse use more balanced and fair for everyone. If you have any questions during the session, drop them in the link pinned in the messages. We'll pick them up towards the end. Let's get started. Nitesh, over to you.
All right. All right. So hope everyone can hear me. So we'll start with chapter 1, which is restrict speculative bookings. Now, what are speculative bookings? I've seen a lot of communities where members, in the interest of speculation, do the booking for tomorrow, day after, and thereafter. Here, the idea is to basically book the slot and not worry about if I will go to that particular amenity for consuming that slot or not. So these kind of booking scenarios by these residents, it captures that particular slot and does not leave other community members an option, a fair chance to book those amenities. So Mygate has a set of configurations through which we can restrict speculative kind of booking behavior. We'll go to the first one. So first one is advanced booking setup, where the society admin can restrict when a booking for a particular amenity starts from. We have two models in our system. One is a Tatkal kind of a flow, where very similar to your railway ticket booking, the booking for a particular amenity, let's say it's a badminton court, which is in high demand, and the amenity, you want the booking to start one day prior at 9 p.m. onwards. So that kind of a workflow can be set up where today at 9 p.m., all the slots of tomorrow will be activated for all the residents in the community. And I generally see the booking, these kind of Tatkal workflows at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. when people are back from office and they have actually done all their daily tasks, whatever, and they can spend some time on Mygate to look at all the slots for tomorrow and book their respective slots. This is the Tatkal workflow. However, we also have another type of advanced booking workflow which goes on a running hours basis. Basically, you can set up a 24 hours in advance, 48 hours in advance booking workflow, where all these slots 24 hours from now will be visible on the application. If they're available for booking, the resident will be able to make that particular transaction. However, in this particular workflow, it works on a hourly running basis. So if it is 5 p.m. right now, so until 5 p.m. tomorrow, the bookings will be visible. And the slot for 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for tomorrow will only be visible at 6 p.m. today. So this also ensures that only one slot opens up at a given point of time and people compete on that particular slot. And people who are really sincere and, let's say, want to use that particular amenity, let's say badminton or squash or tennis, they only go to the Mygate app and do the exact booking because they are more confirmed on their arrival the next day. So these configuration for advanced booking setup restrict speculative booking. Next is towards building social accountability. I think so Jagrat also mentioned in his opening comments that Mygate is able to showcase bookings done by others within the resident app. So let's say again, it is a high demand amenity like badminton or tennis, and the society admin wants that people do not stay anonymous in a sense that they make the booking on the Mygate app. Next day before the booking starts, they cancel the booking, and nobody knows about it. So what we have done here is during the calendar date selection, we have an option to see book slots by other individuals, where a resident can go to that workflow, select any date, and check what are the future bookings on that date for that amenity by different members in the community. This ensures that there is some amount of social accountability. People are not completely anonymous in a sense. And when people recognize this fact, then they generally do not do speculative behavior. This also helps with a scenario where, let's say, my friend has already booked an amenity and I just want to confirm, I just want to, let's say, tag along. I can check the future bookings of a particular date and I can message him within the Mygate app and get to know the specifics. Even are they going, etc. Can I also tag along? Those kind of, uh, let's say, a group of individuals can also be handled in this manner. So this feature has become more and more popular in communities where there are limited number of courts, limited number of slots, and the admin wants to ensure that there is a general harmonious behavior across the community. Next is towards penalizing speculative behavior, which is setting up cancellation charges on paid amenities. So paid amenities like party hall, banquet hall, there are certain lawns, mini theaters, etc. Again, nobody would be booking party hall generally for speculation purposes, but mini theater kind of a amenity is often in this particular domain where people book the mini theater but do not show up for the utilization of the slot. So we have a cancellation charge mechanism where you can put a percentage based or an amount based cancellation charge. It could be, let's say, 50% cancellation charge whenever you cancel this particular booking. So original 3,000 amount, 3,000 rupees amount, 1,500 will be deducted and 1,500 will be refunded to advance of the house. Similarly, flat amount based cancellation could also be done in the system where a standard amount of 1,500 rupees or 1,000 rupees can be charged against a 3,000 rupees booking. So cancellation charges are a very good way in which paid amenities could be handled and ensure that some speculative atmosphere is not happening there. We'll move forward to chapter 2, but before that, I think so we have an auto cancellation as well. So this is also about paid amenities. We have an option for I will pay later, where residents are able to block a particular slot without a payment, a simultaneous payment from the resident application. So in that case, what I would do is I will check mini theater if it is available for tomorrow. I'll choose a slot. Let's say the amount is 3,000 rupees. I will select a method called I will pay later if it is enabled for the community, and I will block the slot. Now, my responsibility as a normal resident is to come back from office and go to the society clubhouse and pay that particular amount at the right time. However, if I do not do that, you can also set up a situation where after a set number of days, let's say if a payment is not received within 1 day of booking the amenity, the booking will be auto cancelled by the system so that that slot is made free and enough amount of time is left for other people to use that opportunity to book the slot. So auto cancellation also ensures that people who just place a handkerchief over the slot do not continue this behavior, and they are restricted by auto cancellation mechanisms. All right. Towards overbooking. Now, let's say, for example, I do not do speculative bookings, but I love to play tennis. Hence, what I do is me, my wife, and someone from my flat, all three of us book slots consecutively. In that sense, slots from, let's say, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. all belong to my house. So this overbooking or over usage of a particular amenity by a certain flat or individual, this creates a lot of negative atmosphere within the community. There are certain number of provisions and configurations that can be used in Mygate to restrict this kind of behavior. First is, of course, to define limits during a period. So let's say Mygate provides provisions that what are the maximum number of days in a month a flat can book this particular amenity. So let's say it's a badminton court, and within the days of the month, if you allow 31 days, that means it says that any house can book all number of days, any number of days. If you limit it to 5 days in a month or 10 days in a month, it is a very highly restricted atmosphere. And few communities with, let's say, limited number of courts, let's say there is only one court, and daily output of that court is 10 slots. So in that sense, it becomes very important to restrict the number of days allowed in a month. Similarly, with respect to a month limiting behavior, you can also go with the number of slots a house is allowed in a month, where let's say you can put a higher limit of 60 slots in a month, but daily slots can be restricted to 2 or 3 or even 1. A highly restricted scenario, which I can imagine, is basically 10 days in a month, 1 slot per day. That means a total of 10 slots can be consumed by that house over a period of whatever 30 or 31 days in a month. So these two configurations are placed very highly in the amenity booking form to limit the number of days, to limit number of slots that can be consumed in a given period of time by a flat. So mind you, whatever amenity booking happens in Mygate happens on a flat level basis. So if me and my wife both are part of the same flat, of course, in that sense, if I make the booking, then the restrictions would be applicable on the flat level. Hence, my wife would not be able to book the same amenity, and the limits will apply on her as well. The next set of features include cooldown period, where a house is put through a cooldown period, where, let's say, for example, I right now it's 5:15, and I have made a booking for tomorrow, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. slot, and there is a cooldown period, standard cooldown period of, let's say, 12 hours. So I will be restricted from 5:15 p.m. right now to 5:15 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll not be able to touch that amenity again. So this is the first kind of cooldown which restricts a particular amenity's booking for a set number of hours or minutes. There's another type of cooldown as well, where the system ensures that not more than one active booking can stay for a flat, where the cooldown blocks the flat from making another booking until the previous slot has been utilized. Previously booked slot has been utilized. So I'll take the same example once more. I'm sitting at 5:15. If I made a booking for next day, 6 to 7 p.m. So until I consume that 6 to 7 p.m. booking the next day, I'll not be able to touch that amenity again, not book the amenity again. So cooldown, in a sense, works together with the monthly and daily limit and ensures that the behavior of a flat is restricted to a limited number of amenity bookings only, preventing misuse and overuse of that particular amenity. All right. Next, again, a very complementary kind of feature to the limit the number of booking, in a sense, where similar type of amenities can be grouped together in Mygate. There are two types of groupings. One is a location-based grouping. Let's say a community has multiple different clubhouses. A few large communities do have that. So let's say a community like Prestige Lakeside Habitat, which has 4 clubhouses, wants to club their offerings, their amenities into different sets so that they appear on Mygate properly as Clubhouse 1, Clubhouse 2, Clubhouse 3, Clubhouse 4. So that a resident does not have to worry about this particular amenity is close to my home or not. So a location-based grouping can be used in that sense. That's a more of a experience-enhancing feature. The second one is rule-based grouping of amenities, where similar amenities like badminton courts or let's say tennis courts, it could also involve party halls. Let's say there are 2 party halls and you do not want a person to or a house to book both the party halls at once. So all these configurations can be handled by grouping of amenities. So here you need to create a title of the group, link the different amenities to the group. Let's say there are 3 badminton courts. All the 3 can be linked together with this group. The maximum number of days in a month, maximum number of slots in a day, and the flat cooldown. All these 3 can be controlled through the group itself. So that if I book one badminton court through this particular group, I'll not be able to touch the second one if the limit does not allow me. However, if I'm allowed to book, let's say 2 slots in a day, I can choose to book 1 slot from court 1 and 1 slot from court 2. that can also be ensured. So grouping is a very, let's say, intuitive feature in a sense that residents do not have to worry too much about कि क्या group book कर रहा हूँ. Configuration handle everything in the backend, ensuring that the right amount of limiters are placed for the house and people are able to quickly book the amenities on Mygate app, but within the restrictions of the community. Next is towards regulating the user behavior a bit. Like for example, we have options so that a resident can be restricted from booking or choosing multiple slots on the Mygate interface, on the amenity booking interface. So if I select a day, let's say 7th of November, and I try to select multiple slots on 7th of November, the Mygate system will restrict and only allow one slot to be booked at a time. Similarly, we can also block single booking in a sense where if you only want to allow, let's say, bulk booking scenario where only monthly and quarterly bookings are allowed for a particular kind of amenity like gym, and you do not want people to, let's say, interfere with that particular monthly or quarterly process through booking a one slot or booking, let's say, a weekly slot or something, that can also be controlled fairly. However, multi-selection is the more important one to regulate the behavior of overusage. Similarly, CAPTCHA. There have been situations where people have complained about residents trying to use some kind of a bot to do the booking. The CAPTCHA system in Mygate is powered by Cloudflare and is intelligent enough to identify if the behavior is human or bot, and ensures that for a human, he will get a very great experience of auto-selected CAPTCHA and a quick booking kind of a experience. But if it is a bot behavior, the CAPTCHA ensures that there is no booking that goes forth in that situation. So CAPTCHA ensures that any free amenity goes through a control process of, let's say, technical overview and ensures that that free amenity booking is always on a human level, not on a bot level. So all those flats which are, let's say, decided by software engineers, they would not be able to create certain kind of bots or create certain kind of APIs or make some certain API calls to glitch the Mygate system. That is not possible. All right. Next is a chapter towards limiting last minute cancellations. Now, let's say, for example, you have ensured that people are not booking in a speculative manner. You have also ensured that people are not able to overbook an amenity. Another problem that people face, the societies face, is last minute cancellations. So I could be sincere in my booking, but still, because let's say my plans changed, I got another meeting at the given slot time, etc. I may go forward to canceling that particular amenity booking just right before the slot starts. That is something we do not want in the Mygate system. So how to handle that? First, of course, there is a timely reminder system where if I have a booking for 6 p.m. tomorrow, I will be receiving a automated notification from my Mygate system at 5 p.m. to ensure that I am reminded of my booking that is going to come. This ensures that people take action as early as possible. If they want to cancel, they will be canceling at 5:01 p.m. itself rather than wait for 6 p.m. And this may give a fair amount of opportunity for other players in the community to use that particular 6 to 7 p.m. slot. So this is a basic hygiene that is done by the system to ensure that people take timely action. Similarly, we also have cancellation prevention mechanisms where, let's say, a certain number of slots before the start time can be defined as restricted from cancellation. So let's say I have a booking for 6 to 7 p.m. tomorrow, and the admin has set that non-cancellation period of 3 hours. I'll not be able to cancel that particular booking after 3 p.m. onwards tomorrow. I can entertain the thought of cancellation before 3 p.m. However, if I'm not going to show up, ideally, what I should do is inform the admin so that they can cancel the booking on my behalf. Point one. Secondly, I should also ensure that if there are certain cancellation charges, etc., that can be managed at a society level. All right. Right. As I mentioned, cancellation charges, we do have that system so that especially paid amenities can go through a process of escalating cancellation charges, uh, where like any flight booking on Indigo or any other product, uh, what happens is that in the last 24 hours, a very high rate of cancellation is levied on the customer. So let's say 75%. Between 24 hours to 48 hours, a 50% cancellation charge, and before 48 hours, there is a lower cancellation charge of 25%. So this escalating rate also ensures that people take timely action, people take an early action, and the system uh, frees up that particular booking on residents, let's say prompt, and other people are able to get the fair chance of looking at that particular slot and book that particular amenity. So this is also a very widely used feature where people do escalating charges based on percentage of the. Now, we are going to a situation where last minute cancellations have been avoided, but there are cancellations which are happening in the system. Let's say 1 hour prior or 2 hour prior. How does Mygate provide configurations so that those can be managed properly? The first one is the notify me feature. So Mygate has, it's not a waiting list. It's more of a list of people who are interested in the same slot. So let's say, for example, Rushika has made a booking for tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for badminton court. And me and Jagrat are also interested in that particular slot. So on the Mygate app, I'll be seeing that that particular slot is grayed out, that is not available, but I'll be able to mark myself as interested for the slot. And in case Rushika cancels that particular booking, me and Jagrat will be notified through the Mygate app that that particular slot has been cancelled. You can go ahead and book that particular amenity. It's between me and Jagrat who actions first will be able to capture that slot and use it for their own utilization. This ensures that the amenity usage is at a higher utilization level. Even if there are cancellations, there are people ready in the system who are waiting for that particular cancelled slot to be occupied. And this feature has also been a hit in that sense where, let's say, there are limited number of codes, there are limited number of slots, but there are more number of people asking for that particular amenity. So they go through a notify me feature. Next would be a penalization method where, let's say, a repeated offense that is happening for a particular, let's say, resident in a particular flat or multiple residents in that flat, they can be penalized in a sense, they can be blacklisted from booking that particular amenity. So let's say, for example, it's a tennis court where I am a repeat offender of no-show, where I make the booking and I do not turn up. So that no-show part will be, of course, handled by the security guard or the club reception team. They will have to note it down. And if there are enough repeated offenses made by the community member, the admin can take an action and block that user from booking the tennis court for a set period of time, let's say for a month or so that they fall in line. Similarly, if it can also be used for a situation where in a mini theater, I broke something and I'll be held liable for it. In that sense, of course, uh, uh, me and I can also be stopped from using any amenity in the campus for a certain period of time. So that can also be provisioned here in the blacklist scenario. So above chapters 1 to 4 spoke about different kind of bookings that are configurations that are available in the system. These configurations help community ensure that the amenity booking experience is not only proper, but also there are certain boundary conditions to it so that people do not overuse or misuse the amenities. Speculative behavior that needs to be curtailed can be curtailed. If there are cancellations, those cancellations can be managed and more utilization can be brought to that particular amenity. So those configurations are really helpful if you play them well. So many different configurations that we spoke earlier could overlap with one another, but there has to be a balanced set of play, which the admin can decide by trial and error or talking to our Mygate team, the relationship manager. You can figure out what would be the balanced practice for your community. There are a few more updates, the newer features that have been launched in the last couple of months that we would want to showcase. First is with respect to security deposit. Now, security deposit is not new in Mygate ERP. We have had this particular module for years now. This can be activated for your community by talking to your relationship manager. In this module, society admin is able to raise demands to the community member, and that demand comes on the Mygate app, where the resident is able to pay using the familiar modes of payment like UPI, net banking, credit card, or debit card. Now, the new part here is basically the security deposit module that was already available in the ERP system has been completely integrated with the Amenity booking system. So earlier, when amenity booking used to happen, the deposit used to be collected as a part of the amenity booking invoice itself, booked as income. Hence, the reversal procedure was a bit tedious, where the accountant had to pass certain vouchers to ensure that there is a proper reversal of that particular deposit collected. Now, with the newer setup, the deposit is demanded from the community member as a liability. That is booked as a liability for the society account. And the reversal workflow of that security deposit module has been brought and linked to the amenity booking system itself. So let's say, for example, for booking a particular amenity, I paid a deposit of 424 rupees. I paid a booking amount of 424 rupees and a deposit amount of 200 rupees was collected. After I utilize that particular amenity, the Clubhouse team can directly from their interface only, they can click on refund security deposit button and initiate the refund process, where they will have to fill a small form where they can choose the mode of reversal, the amount of reversal. If they want to deduct certain amount, they can deduct certain amount and make a partial reversal itself. The rest of the amount can be put into the house advance and penalized through a certain different invoice. So this deposit workflow helps the Clubhouse team manage the reversal workflow much faster, in a sense that they do not have to reach out to the accountant team again and again. They can do the same activity from their own interface without being dependent. In case of cancellation from a resident or rejection from the society admin, the reversal is handled automatically by the system, and the Clubhouse team does not need to worry about passing a manual entry separately. So that part is automatically handled. In case of utilization by the resident, the Clubhouse team would have to interfere and fill the form to submit that reversal. All right. Next is bookings in a calendar view. So until now, everybody had seen the different bookings in the community as a list view through Amenity booking interface. We have introduced a separate booking calendar where any amenity can be chosen and the respective calendar for 1 week would be visible to the Clubhouse team, where it starts from a Monday and goes to Sunday, where all the different bookings from different community members along with amenity closures are reflected in this interface, so that a Clubhouse team member can visually recognize which particular slots are free, and they can coordinate much better with the resident members who are calling them and getting the bookings done. So as I can see on the screen, slots from let's say 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. are empty for 6th of October for this particular badminton amenity. I'll be able to, let's say, book these slots for society purposes, or maybe if someone is coordinating with me on phone, I'll be able to book it for them through this interface itself. All right. Another key feature that has been introduced is recurring trainer bookings, where traditionally we have had options for the Clubhouse team to make booking for the society purpose, through which through which the society admin or the Clubhouse staff was able to, let's say, reserve that slot, so that no resident will be able to use it from the Mygate app or consume it from the Mygate app. So what we have done is extend that feature to a recurring use case, which is coaches and trainers. So if there's a regular badminton trainer who's coming to the community for the next, let's say, 2 months, every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, a recurring booking can be created by the society staff in the name of society and in the name of the trainer through this particular process. He'll be able to select start date and end date of the period. He'll be able to select the frequency and the timing. So on the first page, he will be able to set the dates. Next page, he will be able to select the slots. And those slots for a set period of time, and that time is up to 3 months, can be reserved for that particular coach and will reflect in the amenity booking report. Alongside that, residents will also be able to see that on the application as a grayed out slot and will not be able to consume that slot for let's say, personal usage. So this workflow ensures that the trainers' bookings are captured well in the system without requiring you to do, let's say, create upcoming closures in Mygate Amenity configurations. Next is towards Amenity slot utilization report. This is a newer report where the utilization percentage of various amenities can be tracked. So you will have 4 columns where you will have amenity name, followed by configured number of slots, followed by booked number of slots, and utilization percentage. This gives a real-time view for a particular period where you can judge whether the utilization is happening in a, let's say, fruitful manner or not. The utilization report, if the numbers are trending towards the lower side, let's say 25 to 50%, you may have to tweak the configurations to or make certain notices in the community notice board in the Mygate app to promote the usage of those amenities. If there is an overutilization happening in some sense, then maybe you can tweak the configurations to ensure that the bookings are much more proper and there's an efficient 80 to 90 to 100% of usage happening for different amenities. The utilization report is a great report for community members to recognize if their amenities are being used properly in the right amount in the user behavior or not. I think so. Whatever we have discussed from chapter 1 to chapter 4, if they are configured well, the amenity utilization report will also go through a proper utilization percentage. All right, that was it. I think so. That was it in a sense. And our Q&A link has been live where you can put up your questions. And we already have received a few questions on the amenity booking configurations. You can go to comments where you will find the link to put up a question to us and we will be responding to you. I'll take the first question. The cooldown feature can be restricted only to a particular amenity or it is an overall restriction. So if you have multiple amenities configured in the system, you can restrict or configure this cooldown on an amenity level basis. Maybe I can go to the amenity configurations and show it to you. So here I have opened the amenity configuration form for Badminton Code 2, where if I go to the bottom of this particular form, I'll see the cooldown configurations. So as I spoke earlier, there are 2 types of cooldown configurations. One is from booking time, where you can set up a certain number of minutes. Or let me set up, let's say 12 hours, 12 into 60, 720 minutes. So if I book an amenity right now, if or a resident books an amenity right now, which is 5:37 p.m., he will be restricted from booking the same amenity, which is Badminton Code 2, until tomorrow morning, 5:37. After that, he can again come to this particular amenity and book that any slot that he desires, which is allowed. Second is a flat cooldown until slot utilization, which is more towards a behavior where if I have booked an amenity for tomorrow 6 to 7, I'll have to first utilize that amenity, and at 7 p.m. I'll be able to consume or let's say choose this amenity again and book this amenity. All right, while we wait for more questions, I can probably go through the configuration that I spoke about from top to bottom for this Badminton Code 2 itself. The first one was basically advanced booking situation, where I spoke about the Tatkal booking mechanism, where you can set up, let's say, 2 days in advance. At 9 p.m. onwards, the booking will start for the next 2 days. So at 9 p.m. today, the slots for tomorrow and day after will be visible to all the community members, and they can choose to book all those slots. Second method was basically to have it on a running basis where you can have from 24 hours running basis. So at 5:38 or 39 p.m. right now, there could be, let's say, slots which are available in the next 24 hours will be available for booking. Beyond 24 hours, there will be no visibility by any community member to book this particular amenity. Towards other restrictions, we talked about maximum days in a month and maximum number of slots in a day. Similarly, you can also do maximum number of slots in a month to configure this amenity. Here, there is a very aggressive booking restriction done, which is 4 days in a month and 1 slot per day. A total of 4 slots maximum for any house to book this badminton court to. The other feature we talked about, which was about social accountability, where you can display the resident booking details for all the book slots. So on the Mygate app itself, I can go back to those screens for a reference. Yes. So on the Mygate app itself, where the calendar page opens up, there is a button called See Book Slots by other residents, where I can choose any day and see the bookings made by other folk in the community. This ensures that there is some amount of social accountability within the community members. They know that they are not completely anonymous when they are booking and canceling the amenities. There's also a situation where I can cooperate with a friend of mine. If they have already booked the particular amenity, I can tag alongside them to use that amenity. So this was the display resident details to curb speculative bookings, basically. There's another question I can probably cover that as well. Currently, the configuration of slots is manual for an amenity. For an amenity from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., which requires an hourly slot, we have to configure so many times. Is there an easier way to configure the amenity? Yes. So if you want to configure multiple slots in a day, let's say 16 to 20 slots in a day, it becomes a bit tedious where you have to do 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc. We have bulk upload mechanisms, which is available only with the backend team. You can reach out to the Mygate Relationship Manager for your community. They can help you with the upload process. If it is a regular change post that, then it can be handled on a one slot at a time basis in a sense. However, we do recognize this fact to ensure that there is a better experience while creating different slots and or removing slots. We'll take it up as a feedback and work on it. There's another question, which is the recurring booking is also restricted for a few months for amenity by different tutors. There's no option to extend it for the same booking for renewals of the same? Is the solution? So I explained the process of recurring booking in the session. I can probably go to that particular module and do the bookings. New booking. Booking for society office. Let's say it is badminton court 2. I get option for a one-time booking, which was already available earlier. And second is a recurring booking, where I can set up start date and end date. Start date is today, end date. It does not allow me to go beyond 3 months. The idea here was if I do 30th of January, it says note bookings can be made for a maximum duration of 90 days only. So I'll have to come back to 1st of January, let's say, to restrict the. Let me go to February. So there are 13 dates where the recurring booking schedule will be applied every Monday, let's say, select time slot. This is the restriction basically we are talking about. There's no way to extend this conveniently in a sense from the booking list. You will have to make another recurring booking for that particular tutor. We are also exploring to extend this 90 days restriction to, let's say, a 6 months kind of restriction where you do not face, let's say, this problem every quarter. So those kind of talks are already happening within Mygate, where we can extend this time duration from 90 days to maybe 180 days or something. With respect to extension, we can also think of that kind of a feature as well. But I think so extending this from 90 days to 180 days should suffice the current requirements. All right, coming back to the settings. Right, we covered a question about slots. We also spoke about blocking multi-selection. So this is the feature where you can ensure that the user selects a particular date, but cannot select multiple slots within that date. Or if it is a daily booking kind of a workflow for an amenity, he cannot select multiple dates and move forward to submission. This ensures that people go through booking process every time when they want to select one booking. There's also this feature of closing an amenity for a selected period, which is amenity closure procedure that we have, where for a particular reason, let's say maintenance or for renovation or for maybe weekly cleanup. So if there's a swimming pool which goes through a cleanup every Tuesday and is closed for that, maybe you can create a recurring closure. The same closure would appear in the booking calendar as well for the admin to be very clearly viewing that this particular day is reserved for closure. Earlier, this same method was being used for trainer workflow as well. However, we have shifted it to recurring booking procedure so that the bookings are stored in the system as a entry. And later, if admin wants to analyze the different trainer performance, etc., and how much we have coordinated with them, it becomes easier from the booking report itself. We also spoke about cancellation limit, where if I made a booking for tomorrow 6 p.m., 3 hours of cancellation limit will ensure that I'll only be able to cancel it 3 p.m. or before. Between 3 to 6 p.m., non-cancellation period will be applied, which ensures that I do not do last-minute cancellations. We spoke about house cooldown, and we also spoke about flat cooldown for residents should not be able to book, let's say, consecutively. After one booking, I should be able to you consume that particular amenity only after if I finish my cooldown period. All right. Any other question? Okay. How would I see if any particular is overutilizing any amenity society? Okay. So question about overutilization, I think so that is clarified through the booking report itself. If I go to amenity reports, I need to put a particular period, let's say for the month of October. It will give me a list of all the amenity bookings that have happened during this period. I can download this report. I can put a pivot on the house and get to know very quickly that which house has been doing how many bookings. However, I think so we have provided all the configurations that go into prevention rather than postmortem. So prevention can be ensured by doing all these different things, from restricting speculative bookings to restricting overbookings, last minute cancellations. If you do all these things, these setups are done, then I believe no house should be able to overuse or misuse or let's say that they were not aware about the different restrictions and they have done something that is not allowed. So that is not possible in a sense. All right. That was, I think so, it. I can go to the next slide.
Thank you, Nilesh, for this informative session. That brings us to the end of our session. Clubhouse management does not have to be that messy or controversial. When the rules are clear and the system enforces them, everything just runs smoother. Members trust the process and will spend less time resolving disputes, and every slot gets through the way it should. A big thank you to the product team for walking us through how these features work, and all of you for joining in. If you'd like to try these booking controls in your own society or see a demo, just fill out the feedback form in the chat. Our team will get in touch with you. If you have any more questions, you can still drop them in the link. Our team will be more than happy to answer it over the email. That's it. Thanks again and have a great evening ahead. Thanks a lot.